All right, mic check. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All righty. Let's see here. Put this over here. All right, there we go. So that goes there. That goes there. That's getting organized, people. I'm sorry. I should have done this a little bit earlier. Hit that like button as you come in. Shout out to everybody that's here. All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is June 23rd, 2019. And welcome to the very first episode of the King of Xbox. Now that Thanos has snapped his fingers and all the Xbox podcasts are pretty much inert at this point. Shout out to everybody that's coming. Shout out to everybody that will be here later on. Shout out worldwide. I'm just going to tweet out. Make sure you tweet out that we are live. Come on down. So let's go ahead and tweet this on out. I appreciate it. Hit that like button. It will help out a lot. The YouTube algorithm is changing. Hopefully you all took a sneak at my upload I did in the middle of the night yesterday. It did upload. I agree, JP Loco. So I did upload another video to YouTube yesterday, and so a lot of the stuff that's happening with YouTube, we're going to be doing a lot of uploads and things like that, because podcasting, in case you don't know, where Google Hangouts, that is going away. In case you don't know, that is going away later this year, or which we knew about it. I mean, I was listening to a BGS Hangout. He had some tech guys on there. Shout out to BGS Igmore. They said that Google was shutting down Hangouts later this year, if not into early next year. That's why they haven't updated a whole lot of stuff. And they've got this beta program out that I have no idea how to use. So I'll spend most of the day trying to figure that out. So, but yeah, what's up there? How you doing, Ice Queen? Is your concert this coming Saturday? Is it this weekend? So is it this weekend, or does it did it somebody ate a spicy chicken burger and you're paying for it? Oh, well, how can it be a burger if there's spicy chicken? Should be a spicy chicken sandwich. I'm early. Yeah, well, I'm going to be doing some gaming today because, like I said, I had to work 2 days and be off one, and this is my one off day. So, you know. So yeah, and I'm gonna try to do some yard work today and everything. So, but yeah, try to. That's the key thing. I don't know what the weather is supposed to be like today, but yeah, it looks like it's gonna be sunny. You want to go to concerts on the weekdays? Oh well, those are good too. Those are good concerts. All right, guys, we'll get into it here real fast. All right, so of course, as the King of Xbox, this will mostly be Xbox centric. There is some PS5 news that I can break, but as far as we're going to talk about what Phil Spencer said about Xbox, I guess first party games being below par, below average, however you want to put it, not well received. I'll just put it like that. They weren't well received. Their developers go into trying to make their games too, and Game Pass is future. Because with Ubisoft starting their own game streaming service, Ubisoft is going to pull, and I'll start with the Game Pass future. Ubisoft is going to start their own streaming service this fall, whether it's September, October, something like that. Once they do that, they're going to pull their games off of all other services, whether it be, I don't know if they're going to pull them off of Steam and or Epic, but there's a chance that they just do it. It's the same thing that Disney's doing with their streaming service. Once Disney's streaming service starts, a lot of the stuff that's on Netflix and Hulu, it's going to get pulled. Well, not the stuff off Hulu because Disney owns Hulu, but a lot of the stuff that's on Netflix, and if there's anything on Amazon, I'm not for sure if there is, it's going to go to Disney Plus. And so this is going to happen to Game Pass, and it's going to happen to PS Now. So what I think is going to happen is once they do it and it's successful, and it will be successful, you'll go to the Ubisoft website, you will download your games from that, you'll download their version of Game Pass or whatever you want to call it, and you'll download it, and then you'll play. And you won't own the content. You'll just pay for the right to access the content, like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and your music and all that kind of stuff. So that is a threat to Game Pass and to streaming futures. This is why Google with Stadia is trying to say what's going to make us stand out is all these games are going to run at 60 frames a second. That's the selling point, not the resolution. It's your ability to play at 60 frames a second or right about it. So I'll be fine with that. I'll be able to play because when I play at about a 2-hour cap. I put a cap on myself. So Stadia for me is fine. Stadia for me is perfectly fine. I got no problem with it. Because people are like, well, you're going to burn through all your data. And I have Spectrum where I live, and I don't have a data cap. So, and I'm not going to get throttled. But again, I'm only going to play on Stadia for an hour, maybe an hour and a half at a time. And we'll still be able to stream to YouTube and stuff like that. So, okay, you're going this Friday. Great. I mean, that's the 28th. All right. Well, certainly hope you all have a good time and be safe and have a good time. So, but Game Pass's future, it doesn't look that good. That's why Microsoft is buying these studios, and they can just put a bunch of shovelware on Game Pass. And I mean, I don't disagree with when I hear people say. Like I was listening to Crap Gamer and Mooch's podcast, and they've admitted. I don't know if you listened to Crap Gamer's podcast Friday maybe, but he's admitted he was wrong. If you don't believe me, he had about a 2-hour podcast. Go back and listen to that podcast. It was done a couple of days ago, and I don't want you to believe me at all. Go listen to that podcast, and he has said something that that he does, that he is partly responsible for what happened with the Xbox community, because he said that he is saying, I'm paraphrasing him, that there was a media bias and that people hated Xbox, and he says he can no longer walk around and say that people hate Xbox. He said that's not true. And he said there'll be some people to say, well, it was never true, but he said that's argumentative. He said at this point you can't argue that people hate Xbox. People just don't want it. They don't want it. And he even said in his podcast yesterday or a couple of days ago that if he has a choice next generation, and it could change, everybody has their own preference, that he would buy PS-5 over Xbox. Those are his words. I'm not putting words in his mouth. So he said it's not a matter of him turning pony. It's just a matter of him finally looking at it and just saying, look, Sony has games that as a gamer, he wants to go to where the games are. Microsoft doesn't have any games, and that he really wants to play. Doesn't mean that they did not buy Quantum Break. They didn't buy Rise. And again, you go back to the launch of the generation. 2013, they had Rise on a Rome and Quantum Break, not Quantum Break came out. I want to keep calling that game Infamous Second Son, the Insomniac game, Sunset Overdrive. They had that launch. They had Killer Instinct launch. They had Xbox had. They also had the Metal Gear game support. The Metal Gear 5 launched on that console as well. So it's not like they didn't have games to play. Titanfall launched. And so they did have more games. Now Sony started catching up to them in April, when they launched, they came back with Street Fighter and Little Big Planet 3, I think, launched on PS4 in 2014, or Little Big Planet 4, I can't remember which one. MLB The Show came out in in 2014. That's when Sony kind of stabilized itself. So Sony had Knack and Killzone, Shadowfall, whatever it was called. I can't, maybe a sports game came out. Hell, I can't remember at this point. It's been 6 years. But he made a legitimate point about hit that like button. He made a legitimate point about the launched Xbox's launch. And even in 2014, they announced Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was a 1 year. I mean, he had a good point, which had a 1 year thing, then that led them, I think, then, they also had Gears Ultimate Collection, whatever it was called, the Master Chief Collection, which was trash. It was broken. It's still broken. And so what's up, PlayStation Plus podcast? Yeah. So, but his point, yeah, you're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. He made a legitimate point when they had a better launch. They had more games at launch than PlayStation did. So, and everybody can just go listen to his podcast. I mean, I didn't even link it because people are like, I know they feel some kind of way, but I've always said, if you grown men out there got children, look, I'm sure you want you teaching your kids when to admit that they're wrong. And he admitted he was wrong. He bent the knee. And so they all have. I mean, if you want to look at BGS, BGS, Big Gamer Small Talk, BGST is the template on which all Xbox podcasts follow, and it is and all those guys are no longer hardly podcasting. I mean, I'm not saying it to be funny. You don't hardly see Tim Dog podcasting anymore. You don't see K Mega doing a lot of podcasts. You've got Next Gen 720 doing podcasts, but he admitted he took an L. What's up, Jemiah Dixon? He takes an L when it came to this. Mooch and Crap Gamer took an L. I mean, there's no, at this point, so remove them off the battlefield, so to speak, this metaphorically. You go to Phil Spencer talking about Xbox first-party games being lackluster, not having the oomph that they thought it was going to have. And this is total. This is a total beatdown. See if I can post that article. This is a total beating. And let's see, Xbox Boss Talks games. Let's see. I'm gonna talk about the toxicity and all that kind of stuff. I can't find it. But Phil Spencer said that the Xbox games are trash. I mean, he didn't say they were trash, but I'm just trying to find it here. Talks first party game. Here we go. I don't know why I got a 403 file on that last one. I'm getting all kind of file. I can't get to different websites. So what's going on with my internet? So again, this is from Phil Spencer. There we go. Xbox boss on Microsoft struggles with game quality and its efforts to improve it. So, I mean, this is from Kotaku. This article came out Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Are people actually talking about some anime characters' boobs? I mean, I'm asking. I mean, this is, if they are, that's effing pathetic. Okay, but if they are, that's pathetic. But anyway, this is not about boobs. As much as I like a nice boob. Okay, says whatever the strength of the Xbox platform, there's long lag behind Nintendo and Sony in terms of homegrown exclusive video games. Again, at Crap Gamer during his video, he said something that because he has Xbox, he had some insider information. Do you guys know that until Horizon Zero Dawn came out, that Microsoft did not believe in first-party RPG games? That's why they're getting Fable. That's why. It's because of Horizon Zero Dawn. Therefore, and that's according to him. That's why I say you got to go listen to his podcast. So, I mean, unless he's lying about that, but this is why when Phil Spencer came out and said what he said about Horizon Zero Dawn, a game like that wouldn't do well. I mean, he said something like that. Everybody knows that. So, but this proves what a lot of people have been saying about the Xbox games. Now, here's what I've always said to people before. And I've always said this, the truth will always come out at the end. And at the end of this generation, which is where we are, you're now seeing you're seeing Xbox podcasts turning, saying that they're done. I mean, you got some hardcore people saying that they're not buying the next Xbox, okay? You got the Xbox boss saying that their games, they lacked quality. This is from the Xbox boss, okay? So this is not a fanboy bullshitting out. There's no pony behind this. This is Phil Spencer admitting that their games have pretty much just been lackluster. Now, my opinion on that is they put games out that are good world-building games, and people just didn't buy them, okay? People didn't buy them. If you did, you may not have liked the gameplay of Quantum Break. Shout out to Titanfall Princess, because she said she thought the game was trash. The game was trash. She thought the world that the game was existing in was good. She thought there was enough to start world building, and that's what Microsoft did not do. I didn't care for Uncharted 1. Okay, but I like the world that Nathan Drake and Naughty Dog had put together for that character. So, but I didn't care for the game. I loved Uncharted 2, 3, and 4, but I didn't care for Uncharted 1. But my point is that you've got to build a template for your worlds. The world of BioWare created Mass Effect, okay? They created a world so that when you play, and again, if people struggle, they say Mass Effect 1's gameplay is trash. Fair enough, they say it's trash, but the world is what you fell in love with. The characters is what you fell in love with. Okay, the gameplay, you can say it's trash, but you cannot deny that the world building in Mass Effect is second to none. You can't deny it. If you do, you're a liar. But Phil Spencer admitting that their first-party games are not that good now vindicates, okay, let me make this clear, vindicates people saying that their first-party games were trash. Because now there's the guy in charge, the guy that cuts the check, said that they're not good quality. So we gotta stop this whole thing of you're seeing that and look, the Xbox community is admitting defeat. Remember, I told you when the console war came to an end, the people that built their podcast on the console war were going to have to start adding more content because there's nothing to talk about. There is absolutely nothing to talk about at this point. So they're forced to talk about the power narrative and ray tracing. And I'm going to do a podcast on ray tracing on Wednesday because I really like ray tracing. It has to do with the way your mind, the way you see light, okay? And how light actually, the photons bouncing off of certain objects. I love the whole basketball analogy that a rubber basketball and a leather basketball are not going to don't look the same because the photons of light they react differently to the different material. And both software-based ray tracing and the RT, the hardware accelerated ray tracing, that's NVIDIA is doing that. AMD doesn't have that. So when I hear people say we're going to have ray tracing, it's going to be, look, NVIDIA right now has that. It's part of there, but I'll go into that on Wednesday. It's not that AMD can't do it. They won't be able to do it as well as NVIDIA, because the NVIDIA they sunk a shit ton of money into getting their type of ray tracing now. But and again, people are paying for it. They're paying $1,300 for their CPU, for their GPUs, which I wouldn't pay that much money. But hey, look, more power to. I understand. Hey, BB King, one of my favorite artists, got a song out. I paid the cost to be the boss. I totally get that. So, but back to what I'm saying. This article on Kotaku proves, well, you can get Game Pass for $1. But this article proves that you cannot, that Microsoft doesn't have games of the quality of The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War. I mean, again, this is in this article. I mean, you all can read it. They came with multiplayer-centric games like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2, which I played both those games and I didn't care for them. State of Decay 2, I kept getting stuck in the sink. So they made a game where people got stuck in the sink, period. They canceled games like Scalebound. This is part of it. Okay. Again, I like Forza Horizon 3 and 4, but those are arcade driving games. They're fun. It's fun to play, but it's not the same quality as a Horizon. And I'm gonna play some Horizon Zero Dawn today. I haven't played that game in a while. So you know, it's again, I don't have an issue with these type of articles because the people like I said, Titanfall Princess and BitCloud and Sick Humor, Carlos Fernandez, we've all been trying to tell the Xbox community what was going to happen. And E3 2019 was a reckoning. Okay, I mean the people have rendered their judgment on the Xbox. And so people don't want it. I'm not. Look, I had a good time on my Xbox. I bought games like Knights of the Old Republic and Halo, the Tom Clancy Ghost Recon games. And yes, I know those games came out on PlayStation as well, but they look and they ran better on the Xbox. I remember playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City on PlayStation and beating it, then getting it for Xbox One or Xbox, the original Xbox, and the OG Xbox, I guess they call it. And it looked better. It sounded better. I could put my own music on there. I was driving around Vice City listening to my band's music that I was in at the time. So, and PlayStation did not have anything like that. They had nothing like that. So, and it's just, I had a great time on it. My time on it is over. It is over. I will not own another Xbox again. Now, if somebody buys me one, or if one falls into my lap, so to speak, I'll own one then. But realistically, the games that I can enjoy on Xbox, I can play on PC. I don't need their box, and that's just reality. They are a third party. So Phil Spencer, I think, said something here where he said they opened up E3 with first party content. Now that's his words. We opened up E3 with first party content. But that first party content is also going to be on other platforms. This is why I said to you all months ago, Xbox was going to start publishing games on PlayStation. And Phil Spencer, again, admitted it again through this article. He said that we are going to go ahead. We opened up E3 with first party studios. But the first party studios are publishing games to PlayStation and the PC, which makes you a third party developer. Excuse me, I'm doing milk and cookies. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, this vindicates guys and gals who tried to tell that community, but again, got called toxic, got called fanboy, got called all kind of names, you know. And I mean, let's look at Post Up. Post Up's nickname for me is Crackhead Craig, but everything I said turned out to be correct. So how smart is Post Up if Crackhead is smarter than him? But then again, this is the same man who thinks the earth is flat. So, well, it's 8:20 over here. So, so start going forward from now. Start looking at who's telling you the truth and who's trying to entertain you. I mean, again, I understand podcasting should be entertaining, but it should also be informative. But again, the people who built their podcast on the console war, they are going away. They have to go away. Either, what did Kyle Lang say in Mass Effect 3? Either you evolve or you die. Okay? Either you evolve or you die. And their podcast, that's why you're starting to see that, that's why I never put my eggs in one basket. I could see what Sony was doing to Microsoft. Okay, I saw it. I explained it to you guys. Didn't I tell you that Sony was going to start, or that Microsoft was going to have to start putting games on PlayStation? And again, I can officially report to you now that Microsoft has approached Sony about Halo, Gears, and Forza. Okay, but Microsoft wants Sony to use Xbox Live for you to sign in to play those games, because Xbox wants crossplay to be crossplay is part of Microsoft's future with gaming. That's part of their future. Okay, so they wanted Sony to activate crossplay with those games, and Sony said no. Sony said no. Now Sony countered them. They countered them with you can publish directly to the platform, but we're not going to use Xbox Live. Okay, now if they want to activate crossplay, fine, but they don't have to use Live to do that. And Microsoft right now, so they have a working relationship. Everybody knows that. They're not at each other's throats. Everybody knows that. They're still competitors. But as of right now, like Jim Ryan confirmed about 3 weeks ago, there's no plans as of right now for them to direct publish to the Sony platform. So even though they're doing it right now, that was just kind of serendipity. It was an accident. So they bought these studios that had games that were going to be multi-plats. And they said, well, if you buy our studio, we're going to put these games on PlayStation as well. And Microsoft said, fine. Again, Microsoft wants software to go onto Game Pass because companies like Ubisoft and Rockstar and all these other companies are going to announce, and Ubi already has, they're going to have their own services where you can just go get their games and download them at a price. You're not going to own it. You're not. Again, I'm going to get the Ubisoft one. I've already signed up for that. Best that I could. I've already signed up. So, and I will pay, $14 a month to have access to all these Tom Clancy games, all the Assassin's Creeds. I'm good. That makes me happy. If it makes me happy, it can't be that bad. That's what Sheryl Crow says. So, it's yeah. Again, shout out to Jez Gordon, but Jez works for Windows. He works for Microsoft. It's not in his best interest to be. If he wanted an actual dialogue with people, and I understand him blocking people that are calling him an outright liar, but then you can't have open dialogue with people. See, that's something that I'll give Crap Gamer credit for that. He said he went back and unblocked. Again, I don't know if he did that or not. He said he unblocked a bunch of people and everything. So now there is some other character that calls himself So Shady or Sam Shady or something like that. And again, I disagree on his point where he said because he takes the point of Microsoft changed its metrics, therefore Sony and Nintendo are going to do the same thing. And that's just that's just stuff that these guys pull out of their ass. They don't have any way. He pulls it out of his ass. It was an MM2K Moss pulls shit out of his ass. Well, Sony's got to do the same thing too. Again, show me a link where Sony said they're going to do day and day. Because see, now they're pushing this bullshit narrative of that's what they're going to do, even though they got no proof. Okay, so and that's what you need to start saying to them, whether it be in their comments. So you ain't got to be a disrespectful ass. Just say, can you show me a link on where Sony is going to put games day and date? And it because if you can't show that link, if you can't get a quote from somebody, a Sony executive, because Sony announced what their future is going to be. Jay Barry came on this podcast. Shout out to Jay Barry and broke it down for you. So you got a bunch of butthurt people. I mean, they are butthurt. Make no mistake about it. They are butthurt. They truly do think that going forward, this is what Sony is going to do. And again, I'm all for saying Sony's going to do it, but here's the difference. I'm not going to say that until I get some type of evidence. Because remember what I've said before, it's not official until the studio says it. Okay? It's not official. That's why I reported the rumor of Robert, was it Pattinson, being the next Batman. I said, okay, this is starting to trend, and a lot of people are reporting it, but Warner Brothers had not made it official yet. Then 30 hours later, Warner Brothers made it official. It's like, all right, guys, it's official. And that's the difference between what I do in my podcast as your Xbox king. I'm not going to give you a bunch of bullshit speculation on Xbox. So let's talk about what happened this generation. What happened was Xbox, like a lot of people, made a product that was rejected by the masses. Okay? Now, I bought a laser disc. I believe Sony made the laser disc. I bought one. Okay? I bought a laser disc that Sony made. And I believe that the masses rejected it. Okay, so let me pull up what my laser disc looks like. Laser, oops, laser disc drive. Now these damn things are on sale on eBay. So. But here, let me show you a picture of what they look like. Let's see here. No, I can't show that. That's friggin' forum. Okay, let's go here. I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you this how things do get rejected, okay? Because people make things and people don't want them, and it's perfectly fine. Okay. I want you to look at the date of this article that I'm about to share. Look at that date. May 13, 1994. Oh, sorry. My cat got around my leg. All right, so the laser disc comes out, and I buy one in like 1995. But people don't want them. People don't want the laser disc, which looks like, let's close that. Does a laser disc look like? These are laser discs. Look how much they are now. I mean, pathetic. So here pathetic. I mean, I bought movies. I bought like 5 movies. I got Jaws, Pumpkinhead. So this crazy, And I mean, this is here's there they are. These are laser discs. So not CD players. These are laser discs. They look like records. They look like records. They're almost the same size of a 33. You know what a 33. So yeah, I know. And people didn't want it, Gameinator. I mean, my point is that, like Xbox, there's a product that a company made that people didn't want. They didn't want it. And so the adoption rate was low, and they ended up improving the technology with laser discs. And same thing happened with Xbox. Microsoft makes Xbox, and the Xbox One comes out, and people didn't want it. They wanted the PlayStation. One, because the PlayStation was $100 cheaper. That's why. Shout out to Richard Review Tech. I mean, he did a video years ago, and people do not understand that women, for the most part, hold the purse strings in any marriage or anything like that. And if little Johnny was tugging on his mom's pant leg saying, can you buy me a PS4 or an Xbox, when she went to the store and she asked those clerks, what's the difference in the PS4 and the Xbox? The clerk said they both play games, they both download games, they both allow you to watch Netflix and Hulu, whatever, and they do the exact same things. And then she said, oh, well, one is $500 and the other one is $400. Guess which one she bought? Guess which one she bought? She bought the one that was cheaper. That's what people did. So where is Post Up and Halo Storm after this year's E3? Well, Post Up, it went into hiding. Is what, shout out to Next Gen 720. He was saying that. So I'm not mocking him. Halo Storm is an idiot. But where are they at? Halo Storm and Widowmaker, where are those dudes at? All talking all that cash shit, and now they got nothing to say. So yeah, JCLA, but Pumpkinhead, fine, yeah. I mean, I had it on Laserdisc, so I thought it was good too. But it's yeah. But now we got these cats that people do not understand that. So, and it's up. I mean, I think it's up. People are smart enough to start to figure out that the console war is over. And like the Crap Gamer said, you got people now arguing, JP Loco, that is true, but see, the studio has not confirmed anything. Therefore, it's not true. It's not that what you're saying is incorrect. It's that it's not true yet. It's not true until the studio confirms it. Okay, Warner Brothers has to confirm that that's true. It's not that it won't be true or that it couldn't be true. So I don't know what I wouldn't mind judgment, but I don't know. I don't know. I got to get my flight simulator skills down. I got to do better on my flight sim. But yeah, well, everybody here is make sure you sub to each other and sub to my TrueTube channel. Here, let me pull that up. Let me find my TrueTube channel. I'm just going to drop that link in the subscription. Let's see here. Go to sign in. Allow. All right, so I'm signed in. Let me go to, well, shit fire. Let me see if I can find my but yeah, do not follow. Oh, here we go. There we go. So shout out to One Stop for Gamers for this website. Let me go ahead and yeah, I believe that's my TrueTube video. Go check that out. I'm gonna try to load some more. I got to figure out how to record shit and put it on there. So, but okay, so you got people arguing over ray tracing and stuff like that at this point. So the console war is over. You got people. Matt's Gaming put out a video literally saying that the person who guessed that the PS5 specs are more powerful. He put out a video saying, well, now that same person is putting out a video saying the Xbox will be more powerful. Again, this stuff is psychosocial to these guys at this point. They have to literally be able to say that the PS5 isn't as powerful as the Xbox. Again, it is psychosocial with them. All right. And so again, you are talking about a group of people that are borderline sociopaths. They are borderline sociopaths because of the way they're acting on something that won't be out for another 18 months or so. Now, I can tell you about the PS5 specs. They're going to be able to run games again, because we're not talking about NVIDIA, because I think NVIDIA is trash, but AMD is going to be able to cut a console for Sony that runs and performs on the level of a Vega 64. Okay, now it won't have as many compute units and it won't get as hot, but it will run games on that. So you can look up what a game like a PUBG, Overwatch. I'm just trying to think of games that are multi-plat games that you can run on Vega right now. I was going to say Streets of Rage. My goodness gracious. But you all can look up those games. And again, I reported this about a week ago. But now I mean, that is from Luwafa, that they are running games on the Sony platform at this point. So Sony being more powerful, it's because Microsoft had 2 dev kits out. The more powerful one, the Anaconda, is not finished yet. It's not finished. The other one, the Xbox Lockhart, they were deving for that. People were deving for Lockhart specs. Okay, so PS5 is going to be a lot more powerful than the Lockhart was, but Lockhart is, what's up, Ghost of New Orleans? Lockhart is canceled. Okay, it is canceled because the people developing for it, they were just going to develop for it because it's the lowest common denominator. Then they were just going to port the games, to Anaconda. They were going to port the games to Anaconda. So, and that was going to make the games on Anaconda not look as good as they were on PlayStation 5. Microsoft, it canceled, they canceled the Lockhart, which again, I'm upset about because I want 1080p 60 FPS, you know. But I've sat down and said that I'd rather have a 60 FPS than what we're going to get. And again, you're going to still, let me make this clear for all you all, you're still going to get checkerboarded 4K. You're still going to get dynamic 4K. You're going to get games at 30 FPS. You're still going to get that. Okay, if you buy the PS5 and/or the Anaconda expecting everything to be 60, no. But the benchmark, majority of games will be 60, and that is coming from Jim Ryan. But shout out to Luwafa, he did confirm that the PS5 GPU will be performing. Let me make that clear. And I'm not here to say it's going to be as powerful. It was going to be performing. And what you all remember, you got to really start looking at the fact that if I can give you the same performance, or the Vega is 12.6 T-flops. The Vega 64, I believe, is 12.6 T-flops. So the PS5 is going to perform something in that range, okay? So it may do a little bit more, it may do a little bit less, but it's going to be capable of 4K 60. Now, some of that's going to be dynamic 4K. Some of that will be native, okay? Let me make that clear. Some of that will be native 4K, and some of that's going to be checkerboarded. Okay, so they're not going to not do that next generation. So don't get caught up in the bullshit that will be coming out of the Xbox community, which we're going to have more native games. Well, I mean, if you want Battletoads and Gears Pop or whatever that's called, 4K, fine. That's perfectly fine. You know, my point is that it is socio-psycho with these guys, meaning that their psychology, the way they perceive the world, is that they have to be able to say the Xbox is more powerful. So I'm asking you all, just don't engage with that BS next generation. Because they're going to. I mean, they're already starting to. They are panicking, whether it's Dealer Gamer, Cole Eastwood, Matt's Gaming, D-Batch. They are in panic mode that PS5 could be more powerful. And to me, they're going to do the same thing. The new Xbox and the new PS5 are going to both do the same thing. PS5, in my opinion, the only reason I'll say it's going to be more powerful is because it has to run VR. And so they may need a little more oomph out of that CPU. We have to wait and see, but we'll just have to wait. I mean, it won't make a difference. It doesn't matter that you're playing on a, I don't know, if you're playing Metro Exodus and you're playing at 4K 60, and I've got the Vega 64, or say I got a 2070, and then somebody else has a 2080 Ti, and we're both playing at 4K 60, it does not matter that the 2080 Ti is more powerful, because we're getting the exact same game. We are getting the exact same game. So, and that's what cracks me up about people, is that it's not going to matter which is going to be more powerful, because they're going to do the same thing. Okay, it doesn't matter if in the morning time, if you take a shower and you use Coast and I use Irish Spring, okay, the job is it's a deodorant soap. It's going to make you smell better. So, I mean, it's going to do the exact same thing. So it's well, I mean, you're right, JP Loco. They need more power. To Vega 64 liquid is 13.8. Terabyte the air is 12.6. Well, that's fine. I mean, my point is that they're closer to the 12.6. Okay. So yeah, the 13.8, or you can call it 12.6, or you want to round it up to 13, you can round up the liquid to 64. My point is that the air 12.6 is going to do the exact same thing as the liquid 13.8. Okay, it just will. I mean, there's a difference right now. Okay, look at it right now. The Xbox X is performing, it runs roughly on 5.7 T-flops. They rounded it up to 6, okay? The Pro is at 4.2. Which one's performing better? Or is the Pro giving you comparable performance? So is the Pro giving you comparable performance? Okay, look at one of the most popular games this year, multi-plat, Devil May Cry, right? They look and run the same. Okay, they do. I'm not saying that to be funny, and I'm not fanboy here. I'm the Xbox king. I'm asking you to look at the performance. Okay, I'm asking you to look at the performances, not the actual physical spec of the hardware. Okay, the jet plane, the jet game that came out that you guys love so much, Ace Combat. Ace Combat actually looks better, actually runs better on the PlayStation, even though the Xbox is more powerful. But the performance on the PlayStation is better. Look at another multi-plat game, Resident Evil 5. Everybody loves Resident Evil 5. The game looks and runs the same. Okay? And some people say it looks better on the PlayStation. And I know the PlayStation looks sharper. So, I mean, I do know that. I've seen it running on both. I've seen it running on both. And my girlfriend's girlfriend's brother had an Xbox X, and I played it over at his house, and I played it over in my house on the PlayStation. And I'm telling you, the PlayStation looks sharper. But my point is that I'm asking you all to look at the performances. I mean, you know, the Xbox community, they're caught up in the actual physical flops. Okay, and again, Digital Foundry did a video about a month ago, said the T-flop war is over. That's over. It's done with. So Cyberpunk is going to be dynamic 4K. I'm going to predict that now. It will be dynamic 4K on the Xbox X, because The Witcher 3 is dynamic 4K on Xbox X. It will be checkerboarded 4K on the PlayStation Pro. Why do I say that? Only because it's not because of something they said. I'm basing that off the history of that studio. CD Projekt Red got I gotta turn on my air conditioner. CD Projekt Red got the PlayStation Pro version of Witcher 3 to checkerboard at 4K. That's the truth. So something calls itself Cyberpunk from the same studio is going to have, they're going to put it up just like that. Now they may patch it, they may do it later on, it may come out like that. But that is what it is. And if you want to play that game at its awesome level that you've been seeing, you need to play that on PC. Wasn't that running on something called an i7 and something that calls itself a 1070? or 1070 Ti. So it is what it is. So, but yeah, the consoles are going to do the exact same things. Do not get caught up in this bullshit back and forth with them, because that's what they want. It is social psycho. Again, you're talking, and again, the people that define things like this are borderline sociopaths. I'm not saying that they're sociopaths, they're borderline sociopaths. Okay? You know, it's like the same people that go to church today on Sunday and praise Jesus will also get into their trucks and say, you know, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Okay, these people are borderline, sociopaths, not psychopaths, sociopaths. So that's why that explains, okay, their group think tanks that they got in. That explains why they think, oh, well, Microsoft is doing this, therefore Sony and Nintendo are going to have to do this. You know, that's psychosocial. Okay, that, I mean, because it makes no sense to me. I can see if Nintendo came out and said, we're going to start a game streaming service and we're going to put all our games day one on that service. But Nintendo hasn't said that. But in order for them to cope with what Microsoft is doing, social cycle, they have to put that out there to make themselves feel better. So what's PCMR, pizza crust macerate? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So Ace Combat kind of has to run better on the PlayStation due to no, it just run no, the PSVR, that would mean JP Loco, that the PSVR is mandatory. It's not. And there's only two, I think there's only 2 or 3 missions that are VR ready. Maybe more now. There may be more. Yeah, that's what I meant, Resident Evil 2. Yeah. Resident Evil 2 looks and runs the same. I mean, it's a little bit brighter on the PlayStation. You know, it's a little bit sharper. It's a cleaner look. So I think Cyberpunk 2077 remake should be delayed until next gen. Well, I mean, they're both they're both coming out in next year. They're both coming out next year. So Maserati, they slander Days Gone so hard, calling us pretending to like playing. It's well, I mean, again, it's so what? They are borderline sociopaths, and again, they have to use things to tear down. Hey, Crap Gamer was saying this, okay? You know, the Xbox really said things to tear down the PlayStation games because they were jealous they weren't on their own platform. He has said that. All the other people are now saying that. Again, God, I mean, don't make it harder than it has to be. I will stream Mass Effect for you, Lincoln Clay, here at about another hour. How's that? So, 6000 Ti. Nope, I don't have one of those. So, I was running. Oh, you got a 2080 Ti? Cool. I mean, again, like I said, I definitely do not have the money to get something called itself 2080 Ti. So I am going to get another GPU, but it's probably going to be a Vega. That way I can just the Xbox Scarlet, whatever you want to call it, I'll just have that ready to go. I am going to get that CPU though, that 8-core 20 whatever it's called, 8-core 12 threads, 16 threads. What 7K Ti? Yeah, I don't really know what that is. So Lincoln, yeah, I hope you're feeling better, brother. Glad to hear from you. The PC demo was running on a 2080. Well, now last year it was running on a 1070, right, or a 1080. But again, the game looks real good. I really hope people like it. Here's the problem. What they showed you at E3 is it was all a vertical slice and it was all third person. Okay, what you're going to be playing is first person. And again, I certainly hope that works out for the game, because a lot of people are upset about that. A lot of people are upset about that. Just remember, you're going to be playing in first person, not third person. So, and I'm going to turn on my AC. Ah. There we go. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to play a shooter in first person? Doom, Wolfenstein. Yeah, I mean, again, it is just I'm not liking that aspect of it. Plus, it's called Cyberpunk, man. I already played Cyberpunk. It was called was it Deus Ex? Mankind Divided. That was Cyberpunk. So, but it's but I certainly hope the people love it. I mean, if you like it, I love it for you. I'm not gonna buy it. So. How they spawn a horde on it. Well, yeah, I killed a horde, and people are like, well, you haven't killed a horde on streaming. Well, yeah, that the Cash App is sitting there for you want to see me fight a horde on and stream it. Hashtag Cash App. Okay, Craig $Craig Tech. That's what that Cash App is for. So PS5 gives me 60, and you have no reason for a PC. Well, except there's going to be a lot of games on PC you won't be able to play on PlayStation. But yeah. I mean, again, Jim Ryan has said that he's the president of PlayStation, said that 4K 60 is going to be what they're going for. So we have to wait and see if they deliver. So the games that are checkerboarded are going to be 4K. I've got no doubt about that. But so Horizon Zero Dawn will be 4K 30 FPS. I mean, it's still going to be 30. So but it's they'll be able to put it in 4K. Yeah, Deus Ex. Yeah. That's Cyberpunk for me. That's about as much Cyberpunk as I can do. And I can play that game in third or first person. So I really hope CD Projekt Red patches in a third person mode. I finished it in a horde spawns in a mine. Well, yeah, I killed a horde. I was attacking a settlement. And a horde attacked the settlement. They came out of a tunnel. And I took a picture of the dead horde, and everybody's like, that's not a real horde. I'm like, yeah, it was. Came out of a tunnel. It was a whole bunch of them. But here's what you don't know. The horde, they can climb boxes and stuff like that. They can't climb ladders. They can't climb ladders. Okay? So if you can find, and what I did to kill that horde is I climbed a ladder, and the horde just stood down in front, and they were down there. And then there was another horde at a school, at a university. It was like a football field. And this horde, I mean, this thing, it was huge. There was a bunch of them. They killed me. But there was a bunch of them. It was like, I don't know how many. It was ridiculous. I thinned them down, but ultimately I started running out of bullets. And, so I'm enjoying that. But a friend of mine who beat the game, she said, go ahead and play it up to the very last mission and then go kill all the hordes. She said that's what she did. She went back and killed all the hordes. So, but that's it. So, yeah, they don't count as official hordes. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like I said, I've killed so many of those things. But I like the game. The game is fun. The Sawmill Horde. Yeah, I fought them. I thinned them down a little bit. So, yeah, that Sawmill Horde, I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty epic what they were able to do there. So shout out to them for doing that. But again, it's just like World War Z. If you want to see some other hordes, play World War Z. So, but yeah. So again. The PS5 GPU news is that it's going to be performing at roughly a Vega 64, give or take. Some games will perform better. Some games will perform worse. The first-party games, Phil Spencer has admitted that the first-party games on Xbox, that they've lacked quality. That does vindicate the people saying that Xbox's games have been bad because they have been. Phil Spencer's now saying it. Game Pass future, in my opinion, it's in jeopardy because Ubisoft is starting their own streaming service, and Ubisoft is going to pull games out of PS Now and out of Xbox to put on their own service. So they're going to do it. I believe Rockstar Games is going to do it. Anybody that's got next generation, the consoles are going to do the same. EA Access will be available for Xbox and PlayStation. They will both play the multi-plat one-to-one parity. There will be no differences in the games. What's going to sell is, and Sony knows that, and so does Microsoft. That's why Microsoft is concentrating more on services. Okay. Said the bypass. Yes. Yeah, Tarasi, great. They are if you're going to buy the physical one and put in a PC. We're talking about GPUs for the game consoles. And again, yes, they're going to be able to give you the performance of around a Vega 64, give or take. Okay. Give or take. That's what they're aiming for. And now sometimes it may get closer to the 56. Sometimes it's some game they may code it for the 64. But again, my point is that they're going to both work. They're going to perform and they'll be fine. So it's also supposed to beat the Stadia. Well, again, that we have to wait. That's based on T-flops, not based on performance. Okay. So we have to see what Stadia's performance is like. They could have 10.7 T-flops, but what if the games are performing closer to what AMD? What's their AMD has what a 8 or 9 teraflop GPU. It can perform like that. It's not that it won't. Yeah, you hate parity. Yeah. Well, they're going to do it next generation. Sony has closed that gap officially with Microsoft. And so it doesn't matter if one console actually has, if one console has 13 T flops and the other one has 12.2, it's not going to make a difference. There's a difference right now in what, over 1.5, roughly, give or take. And you don't see a shit ton of I mean, they're both going to be roughly the same bandwidths and everything because they're both going to do the exact same things. Sony will have VR. And that's what they're working on. So they're going to have to dedicate some of their power to the VR. So we have to wait and see, though. Yeah, Lockhart is canceled. So now the developers no longer have to code to the Lockhart. They can code to, but there's a very good chance the reason why you're hearing the PS-5 is more powerful is because the Lockhart dev kit was out, and so was the PS-5. So if the developer for Ubisoft is like, yeah, Lockhart, this dev kit is this and this dev kit is that, this one's more powerful. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home is week after next. I don't think it comes out on the 28th. It comes out on I thought it was the first weekend in July. Isn't it like July? Or is it this weekend? Is it the 28th? I can't remember. So I still don't have a ticket for that yet. So you hope the GT Sport rain update will have enough. Yeah, there we go. Puddlegate. There you go. Well, again, they have rain in the FI in the racing league, the professional league. They have rain. They don't have it on the. I still don't know why they haven't added weather. That's disappointing. My opinion, that's disappointing. But because that will change the way you drive. You have to drive with a heavier. Everything's a little bit heavier when you drive. You don't put enough coming out of the turns. It really takes away the advantage people that use stick. It takes that advantage away because their advantage is coming out of those turns. They will gun their car, and if you have an automatic, you don't get to do that. So. No, I heard Spider-Man is actually really good. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to go see it for about another week. There was a message on your Twitter. The PC game community is pretty cool. Oh, yeah. They look, without the PC community, I would not have Steam. I wouldn't have gotten the GPU I got, and I wouldn't have gotten the motherboard I got. That's reality. That is the reality. So, yeah, they're cool. They're cool to me. So real quick, I want to touch on Xbox's censorship thing. The reason they're doing it is because they want to publish games on PlayStation and Nintendo's platform, and they need to clean up Xbox Live. It's too toxic. That's what they're doing now. They got an algorithm that's going to search things out, and people yelling and screaming and cussing. They're going to get rid of those people. Censorship has nothing to do with Xbox, it's government. So people think First Amendment. So Phil Spencer coming out saying First Amendment doesn't apply here. He's correct. People don't understand the Constitution, which pretty much you are protected from government censorship. The government, and shout out to Porter Rock because he mentioned this months ago. The government cannot censor you, and Microsoft ain't the government. Now, when you sign up to do a podcast, when you get an invitation and people understand this, you will be asked to click. It'll say click here to activate the podcast or something like that. But you are signing when you click, you are signing a memo of understanding. And the Microsoft Xbox Live is a memo of understanding that you're going to abide by their guidelines, and they can set their own guidelines. It's a paid service. Now, if Microsoft would not have the right to do it, if they said that the only way Xbox will work is if you have to have Xbox Live, then they would not be able to go in and censor, because then they're committing a violation. They're committing an anti-consumer violation. Okay, because they're creating something that you need in order to activate what you got. They're saying you have to pay for this other thing in order to activate it. And so that's not what they did. You do not need Xbox Live to play Xbox games. So it's just my understanding that you can just come home and turn your Xbox on, and and then you can load your game up and it'll play. So, oh yeah, that's why. Yeah, I believe in 901. I got no problem with the PC community. They've been nothing but nice to me. I mean, the community has been nothing but good to me. So shout out to Jemiah Dixon. That's why I got this motherboard I got. A shout out to you for the GPU. That's what I'm running. J-Dub City gave me another GPU. I got that one in stash spot. So shout out to you guys for doing that. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I got the HOTUS joystick. Shout out to Andrew Wilkins. He donated enough on that Cash App, and I went to Best Buy and I got the HOTUS joystick. So shout out to him for that. So it is what it is. Shout out, RD Matador. He bought me the Witcher 3 game. Well, he gave me a $20 gift. No, he gave me a $20 gift card. And the Witcher 3, the Game of the Year edition on PlayStation, it was $19.99, and I bought it with his $20 donation. Titanfall Princess donated $20, and I bought all 3 Spider-Man DLC. So I mean, again, it's not like the community is bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the community is bad. So do not get caught up in that. But there's toxic. The Phil Spencer is wanting to do business on other platforms. Therefore, those other platforms are demanding that he clean up Xbox Live, and that's exactly what they're doing. That way, they can go back and say, "Look, we cleaned up Xbox Live. We're censoring people. We're banning their accounts," and that will get them into that second meeting. I mean, they can have a first meeting, okay, but they need to get that second meeting, guys. When you're closing that deal, there's always that second meeting that you got, that lunch meeting. Right now, they've had that cup of coffee with Microsoft, and Microsoft's had that cup of coffee with Sony, and Sony's like, "You're going to clean up Xbox Live." Nintendo was like, "You're gonna have an E3 where you ain't gonna show bro shooters and stuff like that. If you want to publish on our platform, this is what we want to see." And that's exactly what Microsoft is doing. They are a third-party publisher at this point, and yes, it's not in the fanboys' best interest to say, "No, it's not right." No, doesn't matter what you say. If I have a company and I publish to only Microsoft, then I'm a first-party developer. But if I publish to Microsoft's platform and I publish to the Sony platform, then I am a third-party publisher. That's what Rockstar Games does. That's what Ubisoft does. What's the difference in what Ubisoft is doing and Obsidian is doing? What's the difference in that? What's the difference? I mean, seriously. It is what it is. So, but Okay, I will check my Twitter. Let's see. Everybody keeps saying, let's see. um, let's see here. Just let you know that, oh my. Wow. If I read this message correctly, if I'm reading this correctly, uh, there we go. Wow, that's in the message back. Yeah, I just got that. Okay, wow. Again, I may not ever play that game, but cool. This guy is still doing Mass Effect stuff on oh, okay. Shout out to him for doing the Mass Effect thing, I guess. But you know, my point to you guys is that just remember that the Xbox community, they I don't even say they're in shock anymore. They are just it's socio-psycho with them or psychosocial with them. So they actually, that's why Porter Rock was saying during his last upload before he went on vacation. He was literally saying that if you say Xbox sucks, they are interpreting that as you're saying that they suck. Like the physical person sucks. And that's not true. You know, that's not true, but but their social makeup is that you're talking about me. I mean, I thought Venom was trash. I mean, garbage. But it made enough money, and I literally had, you know, and I said, okay, it didn't flop. It made over $800 million, so it was successful. To me, it's still trash, but it made money. Okay, it's a successful movie. Whether, you know, my interpretation of that movie is that it was trash, but it also made money. So you know, Ubisoft E3 got esports team talking trash. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. The same wow, and no one has it. Oh, something that was sent to me on Twitter. That's what I meant, Robert McLeod. I didn't want to share that message because it's a private message. So you ain't saying Xbox sucks. You're saying Xbox is dead. Okay, well, fair enough. I mean, again, and see the people. And guess what? Everybody knows it's dead, but they will argue with you that it's not. And again, I think it's dead. You know, I think Xbox is dead, but you know, it's dead to me because I'm not going to buy one. So I don't have to mock it because again, I'm going to get the Ryzen 2700X, and then people are like, well, you should get the 3000 series. Well, I'm not going to get the 3000 series because there's not that big of a difference in the 27X and the what I want to do. And again, I can, you know, 1440p 60 is what I want, not 4K 60. So yeah, they did. Some of them do suck. I mean, again, to me, it's funny listening to their streams now because they're clearly in mourning and stuff like that. So, but yeah, guys, that is it for this King of Xbox Episode 1 podcast. That is about it. You know, Game Pass's future, I think, is in jeopardy for the simple fact that Ubisoft is starting their own streaming service. Xbox first party games, Phil Spencer came out and said that they weren't very good quality, and PS-5 is going to perform at the level of a Vega 64. So you guys can look that up over the next 72 hours and see what you're going to get. You know, so check to see if you play games like Overwatch and PUBG and Witcher 3, just to kind of see what you're going to get. So now they can't, as far as the graphics, now the Zen 2 processor, we have no idea how that's going to run in real time. So, but yeah, Battlefield, all that kind of stuff. Microsoft censoring people just killed Xbox completely because, well, I mean, again, it's technically you should be able to sit down and play your games and not yell and scream. I understand some mod are trash talking, so, But when I trash talk, I'm playing. I'm not trash talking people. You know, maybe in that little that before you that load window when you're about to play, you can kind of do some trash talking back and forth. But I mean, what exactly are you talking about? Because you can't hear the other team. So it's just it's garbage. So yeah. So all right, Jemiah Dixon, I'm still confused whether I can get that Navi GPU on this 350B motherboard, and I have no idea what a BIOS update is. So, but all right then, guys, I'm going to get on off here. I got to go, and I'm going to try to figure out this flight sim. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, and thanks for joining me on the King of Xbox podcast. Take it easy. And check out that TrueTube channel. Go ahead and sub to my TrueTube channel. Please and thank you. Please, and shout out to One Stop for Games. But please and thank you. TrueTube.com. TrueTube.com. I put the link in the description. Make sure you all go there and sub to my channel. Peace.